Are you finding difficulty in looking at yourself in the mirror? Well, if this is you, I really have something for you.
This is Soraya Altana. I'm a life designer, and you have the power to change in an instant.
So what happens? Let's talk about mirror. Who is the most beautiful, right? We don't ask that necessarily. And there's so many people that, believe it or not, have such a hard time looking at themselves in the mirror. And I'm going to tell you why. In what I've found out through my coaching practice, talking to people, research, and simply my growth, I've realized that many people don't like to look at themselves in the mirror because they resent what they see. They resent that reflection. It's very hard to look at that reflection because there's so much internal turmoil around it. And what is this turmoil for? Basically for two things. The things, number one, the things that they can control, and number two, the things that they cannot control. So what are the things that you can control and that you are avoiding the mirror? Maybe because you want to go on a diet, maybe because you want to exercise, maybe because you have a goal of doing something for you and you haven't gotten there. And what you see is that it reminds you that you have not gotten to where you said that you were going to be. And you feel that disappointment. You feel that rejection, right? And the number two is what's in the past. Something that happened and they cannot change. Something happened in your life and you couldn't change it, right? Maybe there's something about your body that you were either born in such a ways or something happened to you and you resent that fact. And there's another side of that, right? Which is maybe something happened to you in somewhere in your life, somewhere in your journey, something happened. Somebody did something to you. Circumstances, whatever it is, doesn't matter. What matters is that you are locked into that time. You are locked into those events, and those events are shaping your life. And maybe you feel guilty because you couldn't stop it. Maybe you resent that person in the mirror because it reminds you of the things that happened, or maybe you couldn't stop it. And you know how I know this? Because that's exactly how I used to feel. Maybe you've heard about my dad. My dad left when I was very young, very, very little. And all I wanted was to get my father's attention. I so craved for that. It was my only mission in the world. It was for my daddy to notice me. And when he didn't, guess what? I didn't realize until a few years ago, through my own journey, that I couldn't really look at myself in the mirror. I resented the woman in the mirror because it reminded me of that little girl that couldn't hold until her dad. I know it doesn't make sense, but our subconscious mind doesn't make sense many times. We just believe it to be truth. And I told myself that story and I felt it so down and deep and it hurt. And you know what I did? I simply wouldn't want to see the reflection. I simply avoided it. I remember walking through apartments, these stores like Macy's or that type of stores. When you see all these mirrors or stores with mirrors, I would literally turn around. I didn't want to see that reflection. I would only see the reflection in the morning, where I would simply look at myself and then just do whatever I did. I did want to look pretty. I did want to be pretty, but I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel loved. I didn't love myself either. So I just did whatever I needed to do and then let's go, right? And then that was just my life. That's why I know what it feels to reject that, to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. And if this is you, and if you feel some kind of guilt or resentment because something happened, I'm going to tell you that you can change that. That's in the past. And even though you're locked in that, you can change that. And I'm going to give you 3 quick tips on how you can change that. And number one is give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to get out of that doomville, right? Get out of there. You don't need to live there. And you can live and design a life that you love, and it's possible. And you can totally do that when you start by giving yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to let go of the past. Give yourself permission to enjoy your life. I have another episode here, or different episodes that I'm going to put here, where you can follow more into this giving yourself permissions. But that's my first point. Number 2 is forgive. Let go. Choose to let go of the past. The past is gone. And the best thing about the past is that it is over. It is over. Game over. And you get to move forward. You might need some help if you cannot do it yourself. And certainly here's a resource, right? And number 3, I'm going to invite you to love on yourself. Now, this is the biggest thing that you can do for you is love on yourself. First, you need you need to give yourself permission. You need to make room so that then you can come in and love yourself. How do you love yourself? You might say that I really went out and smoked something. I did not. I'm not smoking anything. But I am inviting you to do something for yourself that you probably have not done. And it's think about something that you love, meaning like a pet, if you don't have anybody to love. But if you're here, most likely you have felt so much love for somebody. Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a parent, a spouse, somebody in your life that you are so endeared. Your heart is so plugged into that person, right? So let's look at dissect that. Let's look at the how, if we split it, how does that look like? So when you love on somebody, you want to do things for them. You want to talk nice to them. You want to serve them. You want to pamper them, right? If love is your love, if touch is your love language, you want to touch them, right? So I'm going to invite you to do that for you. And it's easier if you enjoy touch from other people, you will enjoy this because you get to touch yourself. Not that kind of touch. I'm talking about touching yourself very tenderly, very softly, with your eyes closed and putting just a super yummy music and simply being so grateful, feeling and connecting to the gratitude of who you are. Connect yourself with God. Allow yourself to be shadowed and let go of all the things that are not serving you, and then love on yourself like you would a baby. As if you were looking at yourself as a baby and you're touching very tenderly and very softly, right? That's what you do for you. And I'm inviting you. This is so powerful. And no, I'm not smoking anything. This is so freaking powerful. And you can do this. And you can talk things that are nice to you, and you can buy things for you, and you can practice the habit of loving on you. Many people can confuse and say, well, you're so full of yourself, you only love yourself. That's not love. That's narcissism, which is very different. That is not love. When you love, you give. So if you're being somebody that is being selfish, that's not love. That's so not love. And love, I'm talking about really feeling those emotions of yumminess, of giving, of tendering, love and care, and caring for somebody, and protecting and providing. That's what you can do for yourself. You do that, your whole world turns around. And if you cannot do it, I'm going to invite you to click on the link below, because I'm going to invite you to come and be part of a journey with me. I have different programs, and I have definitely a community where you can come and thrive. And I'm there, I'm coaching you, so forth, or you can reach out and we can have a conversation. But the point of all this is that you get to live the life that you deserve. And I'm giving you all these tools every day because I believe that anybody in the right elements, with the right tools, with the right support, anybody can thrive. And my invitation for you is to design a life that you love and for you to thrive. So if you need some assistance, reach out. You're not alone. And I'm here for you. And I'm also going to invite you that if you like this, subscribe in the channel so that you can be getting notified when I'm popping new stuff, good stuff for you, these jewels for you, right? And I'm also going to invite you to share this with somebody that you find that you care enough about to share with somebody. Okay, so I'm inviting you to really pull everything behind and push forward, go forward to a life that is yummy, that is amazing, that is exhilarating, that is fun, that is full with all great things if you commit to it. This is Soraya Altana, and I am looking forward to seeing you on our next episode. I'll see you soon.
You have the power to change in an instant.